There's an island in the far north where the sun barely shines and the wind never stops howling. The Vikings who live there call it Berk. It's covered in rocks and ice, surrounded by freezing ocean water, and honestly, it's one of the most miserable places you could ever live. But the cold isn't the worst part. The worst part? Dragons. These aren't cute little lizards. We're talking massive, fire-breathing monsters that attack without warning. They swoop down from the sky, burn houses, steal livestock, and disappear before anyone can stop them. For 300 years, the Vikings of Berk have been at war with these creatures. Kill or be killed. That's the Viking way. In this village of warriors lives a boy named Hiccup, and let me tell you, Hiccup doesn't belong here, not even a little bit. While the other Vikings are built like mountains with muscles on their muscles, Hiccup is skinny and awkward. While they're out wrestling bears, he's in the blacksmith shop drawing inventions in his notebook. And his father? His father is Stoic the Vast, the chief of the entire village, the biggest, strongest, most Viking-y Viking alive. Imagine being the scrawny son of that guy. One night, the dragons attack again. Alarm bells ring across the village. Vikings pour into the streets with axes and hammers, ready to fight. And Stoic tells Hiccup the same thing he always does: stay inside where it's safe. But Hiccup doesn't listen. He's built something special, a net launching device he's convinced will finally prove he's not useless. He sneaks out into the chaos, sets up his contraption, and scans the dark sky. He's not looking for just any dragon. He's hunting something legendary, a night fury. Nobody's ever seen a night fury up close and lived to tell about it. They attack in complete darkness, faster than lightning, more dangerous than anything in the sky. They're ghost stories made real. But Hiccup sees something, a shadow against the stars, moving impossibly fast. His heart pounds as he aims and fires. Whoosh! The net launches into the darkness. Hiccup hears a roar, sees something fall from the sky into the distant forest. "I hit it!" he screams, jumping up and down. "I hit a night fury!" But nobody's listening. The battle rages around him. When his father finally finds him standing in the wreckage, Stoic just looks disappointed. "Go home, Hiccup." The chief doesn't believe him. Why would he? His son has never done anything right before. Hiccup walks home alone, his heart breaking. Another chance to prove himself? Wasted. But Hiccup refuses to give up. The next morning, he grabs his knife and heads into the forest. He's going to find that night fury and bring back proof, no matter what it takes. He searches for hours, following broken trees and scorched earth. Finally, in a rocky cove hidden deep in the woods, he finds it. The dragon is tangled in his net, trapped and helpless. Jet black scales shimmer in the morning light. Green eyes watch him with intelligence and fear. Hiccup pulls out his knife. This is it, his moment. All he has to do is kill this dragon and he'll be a hero. His father will finally be proud. The village will finally accept him. His hands shake as he raises the blade, but then the dragon looks at him, really looks at him, and Hiccup sees something he never expected: terror. The same fear he feels every time he disappoints his father. Every time the village treats him like he doesn't belong. This dragon isn't a monster. It's just as scared as he is. "I'm not one of them," Hiccup whispers. He drops the knife and cuts the ropes. The dragon explodes out of the net in a blur of black scales. It pins Hiccup against a rock, face inches from his, and Hiccup closes his eyes, certain he's about to die. The dragon roars, this deafening sound that rattles Hiccup's skull, and then leaves, tries to fly away, but something's wrong. The dragon flaps its wings, crashes, tries again, crashes again. Hiccup's net damaged one of its tail fins. The dragon can't fly. The next day, Hiccup comes back with fish. He doesn't know why exactly, but he needs to. Maybe it's guilt. Maybe it's curiosity. Maybe he just can't walk away from something that needs help. The dragon, Hiccup names him Toothless because his teeth retract into his gums, wants nothing to do with him at first. He hisses, backs away, watches Hiccup like a hawk. But Hiccup keeps coming back every day, bringing fish, talking softly, being patient, and slowly, something beautiful happens. Toothless starts to trust. First he stops running, then he starts eating the fish. Then one day, Toothless catches his own fish and drops it at Hiccup's feet. A gift. "Okay," it seems to say. "I guess we're friends now." One afternoon, Hiccup reaches out his hand and closes his eyes. Complete trust, no threats, just an offer of friendship. Toothless stares at that outstretched hand for what feels like forever. Then, slowly, gently, he reaches forward and touches his nose to Hiccup's palm. In that moment, everything changes. A boy and a dragon, enemies by birth, becoming the best of friends. Hiccup can't stand seeing Toothless trapped in that cove, unable to fly. So he does what he does best. He builds. Using leather and metal, working late into the night, he creates a prosthetic tail fin. But there's a catch. The fin needs to be controlled during flight, which means Hiccup has to ride on Toothless's back. Their first attempts are disasters. Crashes into trees, tumbles into the ocean, more bruises than Hiccup can count. Toothless gets frustrated. Hiccup gets discouraged, but they don't give up. And then one day, they get it. They figure out how to move together, think together, be together. Hiccup climbs onto Toothless's back, the dragon launches into the sky, and suddenly they're flying. Really, truly flying. They soar over the ocean, wind rushing past them. They dive through sea stacks, climb into the clouds, touch the sky itself. And the look on Hiccup's face, it's pure joy, pure freedom. For the first time in his life, he's not the village screw-up. He's not a disappointment. He's just Hiccup, flying with his best friend, and he's never felt more alive. Toothless feels it too. He's got his flight back, his freedom back. These two needed each other. They saved each other in ways that have nothing to do with tail fins and nets. They saved saved each other's souls, but life in Berk continues. While Hiccup's been making friends with Toothless, his father has enrolled him in dragon training, Viking boot camp where teenagers learn to fight and kill dragons. The class includes Astrid, who's perfect at everything, and makes Hiccup's heart race for entirely different reasons. There are also twins who cause chaos, a nerdy kid named Fishlegs who knows dragon facts, and Snotlout who thinks he's the greatest thing ever. At first, Hiccup is terrible, spectacularly, embarrassingly bad. On day one, a Gronkle nearly squashes him flat. He drops his weapon, trips over his own feet, becomes the class joke. But then, everything changes. All those hours with Toothless taught Hiccup something nobody else knows. Dragons aren't mindless monsters. They have fears, preferences, personalities. When a dragon attacks in training, instead of fighting, Hiccup scratches it under the chin. He avoids eye contact. He uses sounds and gestures to calm them. Suddenly, miraculously, Hiccup becomes the star student. Dragons that wanted to eat him are now purring like kittens. Everyone is shocked. His father is proud for the first time ever. The other kids look at him with respect. Astrid watches him with suspicious, narrowed eyes, but Hiccup feels sick inside. He's living a lie. He's not brave, he's a fraud. And it's all building toward one moment he can't escape. His final exam, where he'll have to kill a dragon in front of the entire village. There's no way out that doesn't end in disaster. Astrid is too smart for her own good. She knows something's up with Hiccup, so she follows him one day, stays hidden, trails him through the forest, and what she sees makes her blood freeze. Hiccup playing with a night fury like they're old friends. She tries to run and tell everyone, but Hiccup catches her. Please, he begs, just let me show you. Give me one chance. Against every instinct, Astrid agrees. Before she can change her mind, they're in the air on Toothless's back. Astrid screams, holds onto Hiccup so tight she might break his ribs, certain she's going to die. But then they break through the clouds. The sun is setting, painting the sky in colors she's never seen from this angle. They glide smooth and peaceful. Astrid stops screaming. She looks around, sees the world from a dragon's eyes, and understands. This isn't a monster, this is magic. When they land, she's quiet for a long moment. Okay, she finally says, I won't tell anyone. But Hiccup, you can't hide this forever. He knows, but he doesn't have answers. During that flight, they notice dragons below them, flying in formation. Curious, they follow. The dragons are carrying food, sheep, fish, everything they've stolen from villages. The dragons lead them to a massive island with a volcano at its center. Hiccup and Astrid land on a cliff and watch as dragons fly into the volcano, dropping their stolen food into a pit of fire. One dragon doesn't bring enough. Maybe it had a bad hunt. Maybe it got injured. Doesn't matter. A massive head rises from the fire. A dragon so huge it makes every other dragon look like a mouse. This is the Red Death, and it eats the dragon that didn't bring enough food. Suddenly, everything makes sense. The dragons aren't attacking because they're evil. They're slaves. They have to feed this monster or become its food. Every raid, every attack, it's not hatred, it's survival. They're victims too. We have to tell them, Astrid says. If everyone knew, they won't listen, Hiccup replies, but he knows they have to try. The entire village gathers in the training arena. It's Hiccup's final exam. Kill a dragon or fail. They release a monstrous nightmare, one of the most aggressive dragons that exists. This is it. Prove you're a Viking or prove you're nothing. Hiccup drops his weapon, right there in front of everyone. The crowd gasps. His father stands up furious. What are you doing? Showing you we don't have to kill them, Hiccup says. His voice shakes, but he's committed now. He starts approaching the nightmare, using everything Toothless taught him. The dragon is confused, but responding. He's actually doing it, calming one of the deadliest dragons without violence. For one beautiful moment, it looks like he might change everything. Then Stoic yells something. The sudden noise startles the nightmare. Its pupils shrink to slits, and it attacks. Hiccup is about to die, but Toothless comes crashing through the arena wall. He tackles the nightmare, puts himself between Hiccup and danger, protecting his friend the only way he knows how. The Vikings grab nets, chains, weapons. Stoic is yelling orders. Hiccup throws himself over Toothless, trying to shield him. No, don't hurt him. They don't listen. They chain Toothless, drag him away. Stoic looks at his son with pure betrayal in his eyes. You've been hiding a dragon? In my village? Dad, please listen. You're not my son anymore. The words hit Hiccup like a physical blow. He's lost everything. But Stoic sees an opportunity. Toothless knows where the dragon nest is. The Vikings can follow him there and end this war. They chain Toothless to a ship, and the entire fleet sails out. Hiccup is left behind, destroyed. He's lost his best friend, his father has disowned him, and nobody will listen to his warnings. He knows the Vikings are sailing into a trap. Astrid finds him sitting in the ruins. She doesn't say anything at first, just sits beside him. Then, quietly, you keep trying to be someone you're not, but maybe you need to be the person only you can be. Something in her words reaches him. She's right. He spent his whole life trying to fit a mold that was never meant for him. But what if being different is exactly what everyone needs? Help me, he says. Astrid smiles. I thought you'd never ask. They run to the training arena where dragons are kept. The other teenagers are already there. They saw everything and they want to help. Together they release the dragons. At first the dragons want to flee, but Hiccup steps forward. We're not going to hurt you. One by one he approaches each dragon, shows them friendship is possible, shows them they can work together. Fishlegs bonds with a Gronkle. The twins claim a two-headed Zippleback. Snotlout gets chosen by a monstrous nightmare. Astrid connects with a the deadly natter. Each teenager finds their dragon, and each dragon finds their person. All right, Hiccup says, looking at his unlikely team. Let's go save our parents from their own stubbornness. They take to the sky, a group of teenagers on dragons, flying toward a battle they might not survive. The Vikings reach the nest and start attacking. Just like Hiccup warned, it wakes the Red Death. This thing is massive, the size of a mountain, breathing fire that sets entire ships ablaze. Vikings are running for their lives. Stoic realizes they're in over their heads, but it's too late. The Red Death is emerging from the volcano, and Toothless is still chained to a boat, helpless. Then, whoosh, Hiccup and the teenagers arrive on their dragons. They start attacking the Red Death, trying to distract it, buying time for everyone to escape. The fight is chaos. Dragons swooping, fire everywhere, the Red Death trying to eat them. Stoic sees his son flying on a dragon, fighting alongside dragons to save everyone, and you can see understanding dawn on his face. Hiccup was right about everything. During the chaos, Hiccup lands on the boat where Toothless is chained. He starts breaking the locks. Stoic rushes over to help. Father and son work together for the first time, breaking Toothless free. "I'm sorry," Stoic says over the sound of battle. "I'm so sorry I didn't listen." "We'll talk later," Hiccup replies. "Right now, we have a giant dragon to deal with." Once free, Toothless and Hiccup take to the air. The Red Death chases them, shooting massive blasts of fire. Hiccup has a plan. Get the monster airborne where it's less dangerous, then take it down. They fly straight up into the clouds with the Red Death following. Up here, Toothless has the advantage. He's faster, more maneuverable. They dodge attacks, weave through the sky, and finally manage to damage the Red Death's wings. The massive dragon starts falling back to Earth. But in the chaos, Hiccup gets separated from Toothless. He's falling through the air, surrounded by fire. Toothless dives after him, catches him, but they're both plummeting through flames. At the last second, Toothless wraps his wings around Hiccup, protecting him with his own body as they crash. Hiccup wakes up in his bed, confused. He's bandaged, in his house, alive. As he sits up, he realizes something. His left leg is gone. Toothless protected most of his body, but he lost his leg in the crash. He stumbles outside on his new prosthetic leg, and what he sees takes his breath away. Berk has completely transformed. Vikings and dragons living together peacefully. Dragons helping rebuild, kids playing with baby dragons, Vikings flying on dragonback. His father approaches. "I'm proud of you," Stoic says, and this time he means it. Not proud of Hiccup for being a dragon killer, but proud of him for being himself and changing their world for the better. Toothless comes bounding over, and Hiccup realizes something beautiful. Now they're the same. Both need prosthetics. Both need each other to fly. They're a team in every way that matters. The movie ends with Hiccup and Toothless taking flight together, soaring over the new Berk. The village that once feared dragons now thrives with them. Vikings who spent centuries fighting have learned to live in harmony with their former enemies. Astrid flies up beside them on her natter, and the look she gives Hiccup says everything without words. The other teenagers are flying too, showing off their new skills, living a life none of them imagined possible. As they fly through the sky, Hiccup narrates, "This is Berk. It snows 9 months out of the year and hails the other 3. Any food that grows here is tough and tasteless. The people that grow here are even more so. The only upsides are the pets. While other places have ponies or parrots, we have dragons." And you realize Hiccup didn't just change Berk's relationship with dragons. He changed what it means to be a Viking. He proved that strength isn't just about fighting, that courage sometimes means choosing peace, that the bravest thing you can do is be yourself, even when the whole world tells you to be someone else. A scrawny kid with a notebook full of inventions saved his entire village by doing the one thing nobody expected, by making a friend instead of making war, by seeing a dragon not as a monster, but as someone who was just as scared and misunderstood as he was. That's the power of friendship. That's the power of understanding. That's the power of having the courage to be different. And that, my friends, is the story of how to train your dragon.